Hello, hello, hello. It is photo time. It's me, back after, let me check, way over a month. I think 5 or 6 weeks this time. I hope you brought photos or handed in photos for the assignment or asked questions, because that's part of what we're going to talk about today. I brought photo news from, well, the things I found interesting over the last weeks. And you can submit a photo question at tfttf.com/ptq. It's in the marquee down there. And yeah, PTQ, photo time questions. Well, we're going to answer those, or try our best to answer them towards the end of today's photo time. How's everyone doing? Anyone had some fun with photography lately? Since we did the last photo time, I've held 2 workshops. The annual Abbey workshop, which is all the way in the south of Germany. It's like a 7-hour drive for me. 1 week, 30 crazy people, 6 days of photography, almost around the clock. That was pretty awesome. And then last weekend we did a large format photography workshop, which is this camera back there. One of the big ones with the bellows. And as much of a niche as that is, it was really interesting to put this online and it being sold out in like no time. So lots of interest in this kind of photography. Not necessarily for people to then do that photography, but for people to widen their horizon, to learn about photography, to get the basics, to get to get a different angle of view on photography. And for me, that dealing with large format photography has changed my photography in quite fundamental ways. I just look at it differently. Oh, did we have a? It was
just Discord. There was a
Discord
issue.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Where's the streaming? On Discord? I see.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. YouTube.
Yep.
Ah, look at that. Good afternoon. Mm-hmm.
Moin, moin, Chris.
Moin, moin, Leo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Nice. Let me check and see if I've got your email. I'm sure I do.
You most likely have it.
Most certainly, sir. How is life at the Viewfinder Villa?
Well, it's good.
Good.
Since we saw each other last, I had held 2 workshops.
Oh, nice.
One being the annual Abbey workshop with
fun.
30 crazy people. Let me find the. Let me find the. We have a short 2-minute video of it. Didn't put that in the email, but we'll find it.
Again, you're going with the stuff that I can't afford, but I shouldn't buy, but I really want to buy, and so forth and so on.
What?
Yes. Yes, you're a bastard, Chris Marquardt. A bastard.
Did I make a weird recommendation?
No,
or?
just all these cameras that I would love, but I can't. because I
Oh, the
have
ones in
my-
the news. Nah.
Yeah, I
Let
have
me.
my-
Okay,
I have
can
my
you see the
grails.
private chat? That's the link. I just put it in the restream
Ah, yes,
chat.
I see that too. Okay, let
That's
me go
the
get that.
workshop video that
I have to convince my Mac
gives
that
you a
they
little-
exist.
look behind the scenes of one of the most awesome weeks of the well, it's the most awesome week of the year for me.
Don't want the Mac Mini. Get rid of that. No Mac Mini. Don't want it. Don't need
You
it.
broke
now
it.
we're good. Well, when my Mac Mini's on, it decides that, oh, you must want to move the cursor around there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and I don't.
Oh no.
I don't. It's way over on the other side of the room. I just want this one. That's all I want.
That might make for an interesting game. Put monitors all around the room,
Yeah.
and then don't.
Where is the
don't
monitor? Where
let
has
the
it
system know
gone?
which goes where.
Yeah,
That could be a hide
really.
and seek game.
Well, it worked. It fooled me for a long time, but I finally figured it out. So I have it indexing stuff. I just set up after Paul told me that Synology Drive makes your data available everywhere.
What?
Well, there's I guess I don't know. I don't know if this is new,
So
but anyway.
I do have a very deep hesitancy of hooking these systems up so I can access them from the outside, from the cloud in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form.
As
'Cause
you
I used to
should.
be I used to be a Unix admin. I used to
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you know better.
I don't trust these. No, I don't trust
Yeah,
these systems.
Yeah. This is not a rerun. This is it will be.
So
But
should we put
if it were a
date up or
rerun,
something?
let's see. What we'll do is we'll check the magic twanger. And if this were a rerun, I have to make this
What?
full screen.
Oh, he says it has rerun in your tags.
Yeah, I know. Can't
Might
pay
be.
attention to that.
That's
See
not
that
our
clock?
Twitch. That's your Twitch.
That's
Oh,
your
it's mine?
Twitch.
What?
It's on the paired channel. Yeah.
What?
What?
Hold on. Hold
That
on.
clock
It's impossible.
tells you
It's
that today is
completely
June
impossible.
13th.
Why would it say
Thank you,
rerun?
Maple
I didn't put
Blades.
any tags
What a
in there.
great name.
I just shared
Maple
that on my
Blades.
channel. Why on earth would it do that?
We're not exactly new to Twitch, nor are we exactly new to streaming. It's so funny that all of a sudden everybody's saying, the future of podcasting's in video. It's like,
Where
Oh,
does
I wish somebody
it
told
does
me.
say rerun, but how does it get in there?
how does
Let me
it
take
how
that
does it
out.
get in there, Maple Glades?
Maybe it's some kind of bug with the pairing.
Photo photography, nerd
thing.
talk, art,
How
English.
do
English,
it get
English.
in there?
How do?
Did
How
I
do?
put this in here?
How'd he do?
That must have happened 12 years ago. No. How old is Twitch?
You might have. So Chris, in Restream, in
Yes.
this window, the top right, those chat
How'd
heads
you
with all the streaming
do?
services, you might be able to
Yeah.
edit those.
How'd he do?
Oh, wait. It's just slow. View on Twitch, edit. What happens?
Yeah, the
if-
edit
No,
button.
it doesn't. It gives me a category. Okay. Okay.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm new to this internet stuff.
He's such a
I'm
newbie.
just, I'm yeah. But it
Such
doesn't
a
give me a
newbie.
photography category. It gives me photographs, photographers, life simulator, lush foil photography.
Yeah, those are all
sim.
games. You can.
Yeah, of
There's
course, it's Switch.
talk show and podcast or something like that. Yeah,
You're in the photo fam.
podcast and talk shows. Yeah,
Talk shows and podcasts.
Podcast and talk
Okay.
shows is what Maple
That's
Glades
the
says.
category. Okay.
And are you running
All
through
right.
OBS? Maple Glades wants to know.
I know.
You're on a
not-
Zoom. I mean, Restream.
Zoom?
Restream.
yeah.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
he's on the
Switch.
paired Restream mode, which is a cool feature.
I do not
He
have.
has his Restream and we have our Restream. Is that the idea?
Anyone-
I don't have. Yeah,
Is
that's
that
right.
what,
I have to
is
have
that
my.
what Jeff Jarvis does too?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Jeff does.
I think.
Paired Restream.
And I have to. I made a
Look at that.
note
Bags
to
are gone.
to take the rerun offline after the show because you're taking yours offline for a behind the paywall for a month.
Correct.
So
That's
that
what we
is-
do.
Yeah, but I should do the same. Otherwise, people use that as a loophole. Which would
Oh,
be
look, we
nice.
could just go see it at Chris's site. Well, a month later, you can all see it. And it's not like this is super timely.
Yeah.
So, let me know. Are we ready to go? What do you think? I brushed my hair. It must be real.
I didn't.
You didn't need to because your hair's lush and gorgeous. Because you're a young man.
I am
young.
56.
Are you
years
really?
old.
You're
Yes, I
Lisa's
am.
age. You don't. You look good. You look good for your advanced state.
Yeah, it's the camera, it's the light, you know.
That's all about the light. That's
It's
why
all
I
about
sit
the
back
light.
here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do to fix me. I am what I am, in the words of Popeye, the Sailor Man.
Same here.
All right, I have my browser open and a bunch of tabs. So let's.
Fishbowl. Hold on.
Fishbowl's
hold on.
ready.
Give me one second.
Oh, I gotta. Yeah, you know what? I gotta add my.
I need to copy and paste something
Extra
here because I forgot.
I do not mirror that sucker.
And then I open that.
And then I
open
need that.
No show and tell today because I didn't get around
Okay.
to organize one.
That's fine.
But
I do
but
not
we have a couple more
mind.
news today, so we can.
I do not mind. All right, Mr. M.
Let's go.
Hello, everybody. All our Club Twit members up and down the fruited plain. It's great to see you. It is time once again for our monthly visit with Chris Marquardt, photo maven at the Viewfinder Villa. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Leo, how are you?
I am stunningly good. I am
That is good to hear.
fit as a fiddle, feeling fine.
It's good.
And I'm excited about talking about photography.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris
That's what we're here
is
for.
at discoverthetopfloor.com. I should make that nice and big so everybody can see it. He does photo tours and workshops. In fact, a little birdie, you, told me that you just completed one of your workshops, the Abbey workshop.
So-
which
so-
Abbey do you go to?
So since we last talked, I did 2 workshops, and the first one is kind of the most important, best week of the year for me, and that is in an old abbey in southern Germany, in a small town called Inzigkofen. Try to say that 5
Inzigkofen?
times.
Ja,
Inzigkofen.
Inzigkofen.
And it's a former abbey. It's a building with workshops and educational purpose now, and they have hosted us for 16 years now.
Well, they
and
must like
we meet
you.
up there. We meet up there with 30 people in total for an entire week, doing photo projects, doing
So
like
fun.
classes, doing excursions. It's an amazing week. Not a lot of sleep, and every year
Because you're so
it's kind-
excited. You don't want to sleep.
yeah, it's a highlight. And then about 2/3 of the people have been coming for years, so it's a family meeting kind
It
of
says
thing
your
going on
video's
there.
not available anymore.
It's-
I'm not sure.
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
What? Well, maybe I could do it here.
My mistake if
I
I
have
gave
to
you the
upload
wrong.
it to do that. Just
don't
tell
worry
me
about
where.
it.
Is it public? Can I search it?
The video is on. Well, the user is Happy Shooting Podcast on YouTube.
Happy Shooting
All
Podcast.
one word.
Was that you or was that somebody on the trip?
No,
Der
that's our
Photo Podcast. Oh, that's you.
Der Photo Podcast. That's
Der Photo Podcast. Now,
our weekly German photography show.
oh, how fun. And where is it the Pinkes Einhorn auf Guvida? Is it the Gela
no.
Vergra Kamera?
It should be the latest video.
All right, let me go to video. YouTube always screws with
The
me.
latest one.
because-
That's the one.
Yeah, they don't. They
There
always
we
do
go.
this to me. We are in
You can turn-
Klostergeister.
Klostergeister. It's Abbey Ghosts.
Really? It's got ghosts?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure it
How
does.
big was the group of shooters?
30 people in total.
Oh, a huge group. Look at that.
So one
Can't
week
fit
of-
them in your Tesla.
No. That's why we get them all there.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
so
a lot of
cool.
different projects and mixed media art and printing and
And coffee.
nerds
Good
bringing
looking
their coffee
coffee.
makers.
That was a
Yes,
pretty
of
serious
course.
coffee maker, that guy. I could tell. He
course.
was grinding his own beans.
So
poking
it's a week of experimentation and trying things.
Fun. So some people are doing video as well as audio, as a picture.
Some video projects, some photography projects. Some.
Oh, so it's not about the Abbey. This is just a place for you to be.
The Abbey is the backdrop for it.
I
It's
see.
the place that hosts us. We live there for the week. We have our
cool.
meals there for
Oh
a
gosh,
week.
I want to do this. What fun!
It is such a brilliant week. It's in German though, so
Well, I'll practice, buff up on my German. Looks like there was a printmaker there too.
yeah, we were doing photo transfers, monoprints.
Oh, look at that! I love monoprints.
photography
That's a
on-
monoprint.
Photography onto paper,
Nice.
acrylic colors, and another class, a calligraphy class in parallel, and the teacher did like a demonstration, wrote
Isn't
something
that
for us. So
cool?
lots of different arts coming together.
There is a crack
to-
in everything. That's how the light gets in. Isn't that
Leonard
beautiful?
Cohen. That's a Leonard Cohen quote. So that's the week. Yeah, that's one of the
Klostergeist.
things I did.
How wonderful, Chris. No wonder you're
Absolutely.
happy, in a good mood. I would
Absolutely.
be too. So,
And
are you going to do that next year if people want to find
Yes.
out? Yeah.
oh, we've done it for 16 years now. So there's
So if
no
you go
stopping.
here, you
You'll
will
find it
see
on there.
that. But you've got a new one. You've been mentioning this for a while. Have you set the date? I think you have.
The Black Forest one, that is now a go. I still need to put it on the website, but November 23rd to 30th this year, Black Forest and Alsace Christmas markets.
Yes, not just a forest. You get to go and shop.
You can if you want to. No, it's Black Forest, Alsace, different.
Oh, the food in Alsace
Famous
is
Christmas
amazing
markets
'cause
there.
It's French and German, and the
Yes.
sausages. Oh my God, unbelievable!
Yes, everything is awesome there.
Yeah. How fun!
So-
or saucisson, as the French call them.
That is that's a go.
Yay!
sure.
So where, if people want to sign up, it's not on the website, but it will be. Is that?
It will be, but there's a general sign up button on the website, so you can find it.
Okay. Discover the top.
If anyone has interest, go there, drop me a note,
.com.
and then we'll take it on there.
Now, Chris will be doing, as usual, entertaining your questions at the end of the show. If you wish to leave some questions, go to, as you see at the bottom of the screen, TF, which stands for tips from, TTF, which stands from the top floor, TTF.com/PTQ, photo time questions. It's all acronyms all the way down. Nice. Get your questions in because we have lots to talk about. There's photo news. But before we do anything, it's time to review our assignment.
The fishbowl.
You went to the fishbowl and pulled out the word geometric. And that was a good one for people, I think, because there's lots of... there's Dave's hot chicken. I don't know if that's geometric, but it's hot. So tell us.
26 people sent in their
Look at
photos,
that.
and this was a tough choice. That was so much good stuff in there. I'm blown away. I really am. And people did the right thing. If you look at the thumbnails, you know, the first contact that I have with the pictures is I see the thumbnail. So it's always best if a photo also works well as a thumbnail, and not all photos do, but there were so many good thumbnails in there. So
That's an interesting point. How do you get a good thumbnail? You just pay attention. I guess geometric would kind of work all right at
you
a smaller
practice.
scale.
You test your photos in a small form factor.
Oh,
Those
all right.
that jump at you. For example, if you use something like Lightroom on a grid, you have smaller photos, and some will speak to you faster. This is always a good suggestion for contests and things. Judges will almost always have a thumbnail view first, and the first impression, that's what you want. So that's how you do it. But of course, I looked at all of them, and
Because
I made
you
a
are
choice
a
of,
conscientious game master.
and it was 26 and not 260. So I could certainly do this, and I chose 3 to talk about. The first is by Josh Nereus, titled "Gaze into the Sonic Circles."
Oh,
and,
look at this! All right.
And it's a close-up. It's a macro photo. He writes, "Ever wonder what the speaker mesh for a Yamaha electric piano looks like up close?
funny.
Want to know more?"
How funny!
If you have a macro lens, and by the way, if you have one of the newer iPhones like the 16 Pro, that has really good macro capabilities. So this would certainly work with this kind of a phone. It's cool looking. The light coming from the side, which is often the case with macro, because you end up, at least with some macro lenses, to be really close, so you kind of cast a shadow on it. So light coming from the side gives it a really interesting texture. And it's black and white, reduced.
This is from Pangalactic Gargle Blaster in our club twit. So he says, "Hey, that's me."
There you go. Good job. Good job.
Very nice. Very nice. Photo.
All right.
Yes.
And then second one is by Doug Burba, Tech Guy Geometric. That's the title. And
ooh, I love this. I love the colors in this.
So this one gave me an instant cinematic vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Wes Anderson. Can you imagine this in a Wes Anderson movie? The color scheme.
Yeah.
We're looking at pastel colors, interesting color combinations. There's a pink and a teal and orange and yellow. So there's a lot of the entire photo is quite on the warm side in terms of the color balance. And the white balance, it's got quirky geometry in it. Not just that, it's got quirky painted geometry in it. And on the left, around this 1 meter box, there's like some geometric shapes around it. This is an exploration photo. This is one you can spend time with, and it just feels, I don't know, it gave me a good feeling. I liked it when I saw it right from the start.
Nice bright colors. I also look for a story in a photo, and I immediately start thinking about the person who painted it. You know, the wall and what was going on in their mind.
Initially, I thought they must have run out of color and just like pieced it together. But then that wouldn't be the result. So that is a deliberate
feels intentional.
work of art.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And then you have the cables on the top making these parallel lanes, and on the bottom another set of parallel lanes. The ones on the top are blue, the ones on the bottom are yellow. So there's lots of like complementary colors going on. It's brilliant.
Luscious.
Love it.
Very nice.
Love it. And then
and who is that from? So we can give him credit one more time.
Doug Burba.
Thank you, Doug. Very nice.
And then last but not least, I did not pick that photo because your name is on it.
You know, I don't submit photos because I don't want to use my advantage.
I know. I just this moment noticed.
Wait a minute.
That it's you.
Just now you noticed?
I just now noticed. I promise. I honestly
That's awesome.
promise. I hadn't seen your name. Otherwise, I would probably have not taken it. But I've taken it.
You shouldn't.
I've taken it for its photographic merit.
It's not fair.
That's the only reason I've chosen this. And so, yeah, what's not to love about this photo? You have the strict geometry. It's a well composed photo. Very like a very classic, like an architecture photography photo. But then you have this cat in there, and it's the thing that doesn't fit. In terms of, it's not geometric.
She's very soft.
It's a living being with rounded corners and no hard edges, and that in contrast to the bright white wall with the interesting different shading. So you can kind of, you have an idea where the light is coming from, and you contrast this with a void of a cat. A very dark black. Is it black?
Yeah, she's black.
So
She's our new cat. You know, I know you and Lisa talked about Samantha. We had to put her down about a month ago because she was sick. But this is our new cat. She's about 1.5 years old, almost 2 years old. Rosie.
Yep.
And that's the title. Rosie is watching.
and it's a photo that tells a story. You have the cat looking through I suppose the top above the cat, that's glass siding on glass railing.
Yeah.
So it's looking through that triangular hole there.
Just completely serendipitous. It just lucked out that she was there. I mean, you don't pose a cat.
But that's how you take pictures. So one of the things that we really focused on this Abbey workshop is that a photo needs more than just the craft of photography. And that's what is often taught on workshops. Like, how do you set the right shutter speed, and how do you get the light right, and how do you even composition is a craft thing. But then you need to notice the photo before you can take it. So the noticing part, we often don't notice these kind of things. And if you learn to notice an interesting shape, an interesting light, interesting texture, or an interesting story in this case, if you notice that and you follow that impulse that tells you, I should probably take that photo, only then can you have the photo. Only then the photo will exist. And that's something you can practice. Noticing things to photograph is something to learn, something to practice and to learn.
It's very lucky because, one of the rules in our photo assignment is it has to be a new photo, the photo you took during the month. And I took this on May 13th. So it's very fortunate that I snagged this just in time for Geometric. Thanks to all of our submitters. And I promise I won't submit photos unless I got one that I just couldn't resist. And you don't ever have to pick my photo.
I didn't pick your photo. I didn't pick your photo.
You picked that photo.
Picked that photo without seeing that it was you. So
I love photography. I really do. It's so much fun to take pictures. And when you get one every once in a while.
And you do pay attention. You see these things.
Always looking. Always
looking.
You
should come up with a different name on Flickr, Leo, so then you could post.
I should make up a pseudonym, and I could then compete honestly with a lie. Maybe I will. I don't know. I like being myself. I like having my pictures on.
Who is that Laporte guy?
Laporte. You have no idea.
And your avatar should have the Groucho Marx glasses on.
Maybe I will do that. Anyway, that was geometric. I think a really good word for photographers because we always are looking for geometries and things.
Yes.
But now it's time to put that somewhere. Don't put it back in the fishbowl.
Nope.
We're going to go to the fishbowl. And this is
goes under my speaker. It goes under my speaker. I have a speaker here, and under this speaker,
are there a bunch of
all the old assignment
that's
slips
so
sticking out in a row. So
that's so funny. All right, let's go into the fishbowl. In there, a bunch of words. We will pick one that will represent the assignment for next week. And the word of the week is, drum roll please, quirky. That'll be fun.
Here we
That'll
go.
be fun. Quirky. What is quirky? What will be quirky? There's our drum roll. All right. Now, the way this works, we don't say really what it means. All we say is, that's the word of the month. Look around you. You must take new pictures. We don't want old pictures of quirky things. We want pictures of new quirky things. What does quirky mean? You be the judge of that. When you find something that says quirky to you, when you take a picture that says quirky, you can submit it. Now, the way this works, you upload it to Flickr, flickr.com. It's a free photo sharing site, although Chris and I are both longtime paid members because we want to support it. It's a great site. But you can do this as a free member. upload it, and then in the tags, and this is what Flickr has always been all about, is the tagging. You want to tag it TG for tech guy, and then quirky, all one word, TGQUIRKY, and then upload it and submit it. Actually, you upload it first, then tag it, then submit it to the tech guy group. Our amazing moderator, Renee Silverman, will say, "Oh, got it. Thank you." And she will add it to the pool. That's why the tag is so important, so we know it's your submission. Rule is basically you can submit one per week for the total of, usually it's 4 weeks that you have to do this, depending on if Chris is traveling and out and about, or I am. 4 weeks to submit it, and then you will perhaps be in the pool for discussion. Here's the Tech Guy group on Flickr. It's amazing because we've been doing this since 2007.
Forever.
And there's 14,000 members. And there's so many lovely photos on here. So we welcome all of you. Love you. Thank you for submitting. Look at all those geometric photos. Quirky, the word this time. Renee, our wonderful moderator. She's a photographer in her own right. Look at that. Gorgeous stuff. Super talented. You can submit it. Renee will welcome you, take your picture, and next month. We will, before the show's over, by the way, set the date for the next month.
Yes.
But the show is not just, by the way, this is not a competition. This is a assignment to get you out there and taking pictures. So don't feel like you have to, you're not playing for prizes.
It's an excuse to get off the sofa and go outside.
Yes. Okay.
That's what it is. That's all it is.
Get off the sofa, get outside, look for quirky. Shouldn't be hard, especially now that we're in, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, in summertime. A lot of quirky behavior in the summertime.
Right.
Now, the other thing we do on this show is we check in with all the photo news, and you have collated some stories for us. I'm going to turn
Not
on
all
the
the
chat.
photo news.
So people
Some
can
photo
comment.
news that I found interesting. So, you do remember in early 2023 there was this whole slew of copyright trials for against the AI industry.
There still are, by the way. New York Times is suing.
They are, but none of that has gone forward. This is changing now. Right now, the first major trial here started on Monday. It's the Getty versus Stability trial, Stability AI. It's expected to take, it started on Monday in London. It's expected to take 3 weeks in total. So in a bit over 2 weeks, there should be some written decision. And it's basically two sides. The Getty, who is one of the biggest owner of photos, they argue they're quoted brazen infringement of their photo collection at a staggering scale.
Well, basically, it ingested all of it. I think there's no question. That's
pretty much.
That's how it works.
Pretty much.
If it was on the web, it ingested it.
Right, and the tech companies, of course, argue fair use, fair dealing, and
they didn't break into Getty to get it. This was all posted on the web with Getty's watermarks.
Well, that's the thing that the AI. I think that's one of the ways to find out is when the AI starts reproducing
Occasionally,
watermarks.
You'll see Greeked watermarks that look like Getty. I think that's how Getty realized. You know, that follows on the heels of this week's announcement that Midjourney is being sued by Disney. So
none of these companies is not being sued. So it's all about training data. Now, interestingly enough, what also happens is that the Stability has received a big infusion of money from Sean Parker, who is
Mr. Napster.
Who is now the chair of the Stability Board.
He's no stranger to copyright infringement.
He's versed in IP disputes. And by the way, another member of the board is James Cameron.
Oh, the director, Titanic.
The director of Titanic and Avatar. So, and the question, of course, is if Getty wins this, what's going to happen? Will this open the floodgates for rights holders across industries? Because we're not only looking at photography. We're looking at written words. We're looking at all sorts of different data troves that were emptied by or used by the companies to train their models. And of course, I mean, if that goes to, implications are that, I mean, that major content archives will do the same, and it will be mayhem. So
There will be blood.
there will be blood in one form or another. So in about 3 weeks, I think we should hopefully know more.
Do you have an opinion of this? I mean, you're an artist. You put your photographs online. What do you not want?
I'm not opposed to training. I am opposed to having stuff ripped off. So I think some form of compensation is certainly in order here. And of course, that could lead to something like a clearinghouse of sorts, maybe like an ASCAP for training data or something.
Yeah, because we want, if AI is going to be any
potentially.
use to us, it needs to be trained on what's out there. I'm kind of a little bit more liberal than you are. I do think there is a standard called robots.txt that AI crawlers, just like search engine
Which is
crawlers,
ignored. Which is ignored.
should not ignore. So if you ignore that, then I think you are liable. So if Getty had put in robot, I think the standard didn't exist, by the way, when they were training ChatGPT. But from now on, if Getty says no AI bots, that should be honored. But I would hope it's not copying any more than me reading a book is copying the book. It's ingesting it to create new content. So really what mostly these trials are about is what is fair use.
What is fair use? And I think Getty is on the very bottom of it is looking for licensing deals.
Probably
They want to
that's what a
sell
lot of these lawsuits
their
are about,
pictures
yeah.
for training. They want money for it. So
And that's the objection that a lot of people, in fact, people who work for us like Benito have, that these companies, unlike me reading a book, these companies are ingesting that content to make money. They're making lots of money. So maybe they should pay for it.
I'm looking forward to finding out what.
You should point out if they pay for it, we'll end up paying for it.
Exactly. So, it has a lot of different sides and different angles, and it's not an easy decision for sure.
Right.
So, in the same vein, the next message, the next news is about Adobe stock. Adobe sells stock too, and a German professional stock photographer named Robert Kneschke, he did some sleuthing and found out that about half or almost half of Adobe stock is AI. And
this does not surprise me at all.
It's very interesting.
Why wouldn't they? That way they don't have to pay photographers, right?
Well, the thing is, they are trying to do something against it now because the platform saw like a major flood of AI-generated images that are marked as AI. Not just snuck in there, but marked as AI.
Right.
In the last 3 years, they have received as many submissions as in the 20 years before. So, Adobe stock is formerly Fotolia, and when Fotolia started 20 years ago, it became a pretty successful stock platform, and in 20 years. They had as many pictures as in 3 years now. Wow. And Adobe has now started to limit uploads. The rejection rates for photographers have skyrocketed. So they have a reputation to lose, I guess. Wait times for a photo release, if you uploaded one as a stock photographer, can be up to 2 months now. And of course, Adobe disputes that percentage. They say it's not true. But their answer, it's in the article that I linked. It doesn't really, it's not very convincing. So
the article's on petapixel.com.
And by the way, that German photographer clearly explains his method of how he came to that number, and it's a very plausible. It's very plausible.
Honestly, the biggest threat is to these stock photo companies because anybody can generate their own stock photos now with Midjourney or Dall-E or any of the Imagine, any of these.
So sooner or later, that will be in your phone. and it might not be as perfect as a photographer who slaved over this photo for I don't know how long, but it will do the job in most cases. It will be good enough. So
do you worry ever that photography is just no longer going to be a money-making profession? That at some point it's going to be?
I don't. I mean, as a stock photographer, yeah, that's there's no future in stock photography, I think.
Pretty clearly, right?
All the utilitarian photography, the one that you use for the non-art photography, that is probably going to be done by the machine sooner or later. But what I see on these photo workshops is that people still want to take photos, and AI photos are not a thing on these workshops.
Right.
We don't tell people to not use AI. It's just not being done because people are there because they want to.
No, we want to make art. Yeah, AI is not art.
So that side of the photography, I'm not worried about my workshops or anything, because that is a real experience, and that is people doing what people like doing. It's like people like riding horses, but horses are not being used to carry your stuff around anymore.
They're no longer our main transportation means.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a good way to think of it. The art, and it's the same thing with generated music. We've talked about that before. People make music because they love making music. Yes. It's too bad if you can't make a living at it. You know,
that's the other side of the coin, of course. The stock photographers are going to be out of a job. That's clear.
Yeah.
So
get ready, stock photographers,
or become really good at being an AI whisperer for photography.
Yeah.
Or shoot analog, shoot film. That's what we do on the workshops too. So
yeah. Well, in fact, I think it might drive more people even to use these kind of classic means of creation like film. Because, I'm not making it for profit now. I'm making it for art. I met on a cruise a couple of years ago a guy who did only silver prints, which is quite a challenging, difficult, and elaborate process. But he loved the work. He loved how it came out.
It's the art. It's also the process. The process itself is such a wonderful thing to be able to like, again, large format photography. We just last weekend did a workshop on that, and it's just the process is so lovely, so satisfying, such a building skill and learning the basics of something, and then being able to execute on that and make art at the same time. It's just that it's the most satisfying thing you can do. I slept so well after that weekend because people were so happy. They learned something new.
So much fun. Yeah.
It's fun. Yes.
It's so much fun. So, I mean, it does make me sad that you can't make a living at it. My nephew just graduated from the Rhode Island School of Design, very prestigious art school in the U.S. in photography. And, I don't know what he's going to end up doing.
Well, but he now, having done that, he has the skills, he has the eye, he has the foundation to be good with these tools, to know how to handle these tools, to judge what the tools do and what they return to you, and if that is good. So a good photographer will also be a good prompt writer for these systems, for sure.
I'm sure that's not why he went to art school. to
Probably
learn to be
not.
A prompt writer.
Probably not, but
I'm sorry, Grady. That's the bad news. All right, let's talk about the tools we use. You always give me reasons to spend money on this show.
There's this really, from my point of view, really interesting but also kind of strange category of cameras that are digital cameras, but they pretend to be film cameras.
Oh, that's cool.
And two of those came out. There are more of these kind of examples, but the one that's gone through the media is the Fuji X-Half.
X-Half. Is it half the size?
Half. Well, okay. So if you have a 35 millimeter film camera, an SLR, then there's this other category called the half format cameras, and what these do is they only expose half of a frame. So you have twice the amount of pictures. They are vertical. And so this, instead of 36 pictures on a roll of film, you have 72.
So it is a film camera.
No, it's not. It pretends to be one.
What?
It has a fixed lens. It has 18 megapixels. It has a vertical aspect ratio of 3:4. It has a 1-inch sensor, but it's a vertical sensor, as like you would shoot with your phone, vertical. It has a vertical display. It has a vertical optical viewfinder on the left top, so it mimics to being a rangefinder camera. And then it has a mode called film mode, and you choose your film simulation, like a film stock, a virtual film stock. You choose how many pictures you want to take, and that's like a 36 or 54 or 72 pictures.
That's hysterical.
Interestingly enough, no 24 pictures. And then you can enable to have the date imprinted on the picture.
I see that.
Like in the
Like
old
it,
days,
like
the
it was a
orange.
film camera. That's hysterical.
And then you're stuck with your choices until that, in air quotes, film is full.
You
no
have to do
preview.
36 shots. You can't do pixel peeping. That's it.
That's the idea. There's no previews, so no pixel peeping.
Oh, what an interesting
And then you
camera.
have to, again, air quotes, develop the film by transferring it to an app, and then you can do whatever you want with your photos.
How
It even has a film advance lever.
Oh, no.
See that on the right top?
It's to wind it?
Yeah, you with your right thumb, you advance the film, the virtual film.
This is very... Oh, look, and there's the viewfinder.
It has something really nice and quirky. If you go back to the backside, you see this little lozenge shaped thing on the left.
Yeah.
On the left of the display.
Yeah. This thing. Yeah. Yeah.
This thing is this is a digital display, but it shows you what you would see if it was a window that shows you the film canister, like the little film capsule.
So as you roll it, it shows the exposure number, right?
And no, it shows you the orange thing that says the film name on it or something.
Oh my God.
It's yeah.
This is kind of interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's for people with a lot of discretionary money. There it is.
It's you swipe it up and down, and then you
Provia.
change the film.
Oh, that's changing the film style. Oh,
It's changing the film style. So I think it's for digital natives who want the convenience of digital, but the feeling of film. It's also $850. So
it doesn't. The images don't look super gorgeous.
that's not the point of the camera.
Yeah.
It's the experience.
Oh,
I
and you're going
think.
to print it with Instax. Oh, great.
Of course, of course. It fits right in a regular size Instax frame.
That's very weird and yet
It
interesting.
is weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Fuji's been making some good stuff. They just released a new version of the X100 with interchangeable lenses.
I mean, Fuji is really good. I mean, they have the good film simulation recipes of their film stock. Fuji has had this in their cameras.
They're famous for their film, of course.
And
yeah.
the digital versions of those film stocks are good. I mean, they look like the real deal. So, yeah. But the Fuji X1/2 is not the only camera. There is another one, and the second one I want to talk about is the Yashica FXD, and that is. It does have similarities. They ran it through Kickstarter. Yashica isn't the camera manufacturer anymore. It's the brand, and someone owns the brand, and they put that name on that camera. So it's also on the cheaper side compared to the Fuji. It's $240, I think. That was the early bird Kickstarter.
Wow, that's very
price.
affordable. Okay.
And it also has a film advance lever. It has 6 film emulsions, film emulations based on some classical film
Get the
stocks.
film vibe without the rolls, man.
Yes. So, and it comes in 2 versions. There's the FXD 300. That's a 50 megapixel sensor. And
This is actually pretty cool also. I like this. Maybe this If you had that, I was thinking that the Fuji would be great for a classroom, to give students to kind of without, because a lot of classes now are trying to teach film. I think maybe this would be a better intermediate way that still stays digital.
I'm on the one hand I'm intrigued because it brings new people in the fold, and I don't really care what brings people to photography, if it's the nostalgia or if it's the
Right.
curiosity of experiencing what film was like, as long as people start doing photography, because that's a beautiful, wonderful hobby, a very satisfying thing to do. So the tool, I think, is secondary. If that brings you in, then that's the right tool for you. So it comes in two versions, the 100 and the 300. The 100 has a 13 megapixel sensor and the 300 has a 50 megapixel sensor, and they have slightly different lenses. And they also both emulate that film experience in one way or another. I haven't played with any of them, so I only seen what's online, but yeah, it's a kind of an
It's
interesting category of
inexpensive.
cameras, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's inexpensive enough that you might want to play with it, I guess. It's a little strange.
I don't really have a firm opinion on it just yet, but why not? Why not? It brings people to photography that would probably otherwise not have done that. So it's a good thing.
Why not?
All right. Second last piece of news is about seeing with a different wavelength. Like we have the spectrum of light, and then if you keep going, you end up in the radio spectrum. And there are radio telescopes on Earth that look into the sky, into the depth of the cosmos with radio waves. They listen in with large dishes to hear, kind of to see in a different wavelength what happened long time ago. And there are ultra-long radio waves that are interesting to look at, but those are blocked by the Earth's atmosphere. So the Jet Propulsion Laboratory is developing a new lunar crater radio telescope. So they want to put a radio telescope on the dark side of the moon.
Wow.
So that shields the thing from Earth.
I hope they have the
and
budget for this. I think the budgets have been cut 25%, so this may never happen. But
we'll have to see. They are in phase 2 financing.
Oh,
they have
okay.
$625,000.
How do you build something on the far side of the moon?
Using robots.
Ah.
That's how you do it. So we're talking about 1,100 feet diameter, so it's quite sizable. There's a 200-to-1 prototype being constructed right now. They want to test it later this year on Earth. The dark side of the moon is a radio silent environment. There's no satellite interference.
There is, despite the name, light. We should mention, it's not like it's dark
light
all the time. It's just we don't see it. So I guess it's really
true.
the far side of the moon.
That's true. And there's also no low Earth satellites that are in the way, because these do not only interfere visually, but also with radio waves.
Yeah.
And they send radio waves, so those interfere. That is a growing problem for astronomy. But the cost, of course, might be the major hurdle. We're talking a budget or a price tag of $2.6 billion.
I hate to say it, but
they're already in the second phase of financing. I don't know how many phases there are and how far it has to go. They are talking about building this in the 2030s. The project started in 2020. So
this might be better than the Hubble or the Webb, really. I mean, this is, of course, it's a radio telescope, but
it can see different things. And at that size, I think it might have some good resolution for a radio telescope.
3 to 5 kilometer diameter,
and no interference from Earth's atmosphere, which is good.
Amazing, more than good.
That is amazing.
Great.
So, last piece of news. As a photographer, you're always looking to find work somewhere. And Airbnb has now added photography. Have you seen that?
Yes, and we've been talking about doing ads for it because I think it's such a great idea. They're doing experiences now. That's the new thing for Airbnb.
They're doing experiences, and they're doing what's it called? Not just experiences, also
Services?
Services, yeah, experience and services. So under services, you have a whole bunch of different services that you could now offer to travelers who have an Airbnb,
including photography. There's a photography
you can
section.
hire a chef there, or get prepared meals, or a massage, or training like fitness training, or makeup, or hair, or spa treatment, or catering, or nails. And photography is right on the top of that. So imagine you travel somewhere, you rent an Airbnb, and you want a photographer to show you the city, or to take pictures of you in the park or whatever. And as a photographer, you can go there, you can offer an experience or a service, and then people can book you. And I looked at the examples. There's like a vintage car photo shoot tour, or a photo session at a specific location, or authentic urban portraits, or couples photography. For experiences, Airbnb, I think, takes 20% cut. For services, they take a 15% cut. And yeah.
Look at this.
I find it interesting.
Here's Barcelona. There's all of these people in Barcelona who want to help you, either do a photo shoot with you or help you. We did this in Venice, by the way, with we always do when we travel things like this with a company called Tours by Locals. We booked a photographer who knew Venice very well, and she took us out to all her secret spots, and we got some wonderful photographs. I was really happy with it. It was a really great experience. We spent the day with her. And so it was a great way to see Venice through a native's eyes. And I was super happy with it. So I'm glad that they're doing this at Airbnb.
I mean, they also need to make up for some lost business. If you look at the Airbnb,
well, that's why they're
numbers in New York. I think they dropped 90% in New York.
And it's also because cities are making it illegal. They don't want to eat up all the housing with or kill hotels with temporary rentals.
Exactly.
So,
also, I think the CEO said somewhere on an interview that
Chesky,
those services also face fewer regulatory hurdles. So
that's what he's saying. He's saying people are legislating against us. And
question, of course, is quality. You don't really know what you'll get. I mean, there will be a rating system, but how reliable are those rating systems?
How will they vet it? Yeah.
So I haven't really looked very deep into it just yet, because it's only in some bigger cities at this point. But I hope that as a photographer, as a creative, you can at least show a portfolio or something that people can use to at least get an idea what you're offering and how good and how much value you're getting for your money.
Right.
So, but it's another way. And of course, Tours by Locals, that's probably not happy about this, because that's direct
it competes
competition.
a little bit with them. But there are a number of sites like that all the guides are on all of the sites, and they really focus on city guides. So I think it'll be a good. I'm just thinking, I got some great pictures in Venice. Seeing if I can find some of them. Thanks to this wonderful teacher. In fact, I think I have a picture of her taking us around town and showing us stuff that she knew about, but you had to be a local to see them.
Oh, we did this in Moscow years ago. Had one from a photographer from Tours by Locals, and she knew all
you've
these
used them too.
Wonderful
Nice.
places. We used that too, and we asked her, "Can you take us to like a market, like something local, something where regular people would shop?" And it was
that's the best.
Exactly the right thing, and
Always
she
wanna
was
do
there
that.
to help us translate and talk to security and so on. So there you go.
She took us to a fun spot, and I got Lisa to pose for me, be my model. And she was doing she was teaching us at the same time as she was, taking us around. So we were getting some instruction as well, which was great.
That's
I think
the
this is
thing,
my favorite
right?
from there.
It's not just taking the pictures. It's learning. It's expanding your own horizon and taking home not just the photos, but some new tools in your creative toolbox.
Super, super fun. What a great way to see a town. Moscow would be fun too. I'm jealous. That sounds like a great idea. I don't think we'll be going to Russia anytime soon.
No, me neither. But when
been
that
to
was still
Moscow.
a thing, then it was good.
Yeah,
back then it was.
Yeah. Well, I've been to St. Petersburg a few times and enjoyed myself. We had tours by locals there as well. Yeah, good. I think this is a smart move on Airbnb's part.
I think so too.
Because it shouldn't just be restricted to people, who are traveling, in foreign lands and, on cruise ships and stuff. That's one of the things that makes a cruise interesting is all the excursions associated with it. And this is excursions for wherever you might be. I love the idea. So.
Look at the chat, Mr. Met86. When you book a photography session on Airbnb, they charge $90 lens cleaning charge when you check out.
No, he's joking. That was one of the problems, though, with Airbnb is you would get these weird extra fees.
Yes.
Actually, I stopped using Airbnb because it wasn't a great experience often. So
it depends where you go. Seriously, does. I've had good and bad experiences.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was all good stuff.
That is the news.
Now it's time for your questions. TF.
It's time for the. Well, at this point, it's time for the question because we have one question. In this point.
Questione.
And it is a question by Edmonton Oiler guy, aka Evanescence.
Evanescence is a photographer and very happy right now because his Oilers are in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Ah, there you go.
Yep.
And it's a question that I'm not sure I can really answer. But if you were buying strobes today, what would be your top choice? Money no object. What would be your second choice? Best bang for the buck. So with strobes, I assume you mean studio strobes. Bigger flashes. I personally, haven't bought studio strobes lately, so I'm not really familiar with the current market. But I own a set of Elinchrom flashes, Elinchrom strobes that have served my needs for a long time. But the top tier, we're probably looking at Broncolor, Profoto. And the more brands for sure. The thing about studio strobes is what you want is color consistency. Like you want control over everything, and some strobes turn, like if you turn them down in output, they change their color spectrum and they might become a bit warmer when they're darker, and that's the kind of thing you don't want. You want that consistency. Also, flash duration is a thing because the flash it feels instant, but it is not. It takes a certain time, a few milliseconds, for that flash to burn off, and that flash duration is important depending on what kind of a camera you use and if that might interfere with your exposure time and so on. So that needs to be consistent. So Broncolor, Profoto are two high-end brands that come to mind here. And as a budget choice, I would look at Godox.
Oh, yeah, Godox is great.
They are such a good
I didn't even know they were a budget choice. I just thought they were the choice. That's so funny.
From what I know is that with a Godox strobe, you get they compete with strobes that are maybe 3 to 4 times the price.
Yeah.
And the quality seems to be very good, and I've only heard good things about them from a lot of different photographers.
I would agree 100%. Now, there used to be a wonderful site all about strobe photography. He's kind of retired the site
Strobist.
now, the Strobist. But you know what's cool about the Strobist? It's still online. He archived it so that people could still go there. I wouldn't use it for buying advice because obviously a lot's changed since 2021. But boy, there was a lot of
but
instructional
he
stuff.
has a
that was
lot of
fantastic.
used buying suggestions. Now, what he does is or what he did is his thing was to use small flashes, small camera flashes, mix them with available light and balance these. So these are not the big studio strobes, but these are more like the speed lights
Right,
that you would then manually set to balance the light that's there, which is a very fun technique to work with.
Well,
So
it's also a good way inexpensively to kind of start learning about what lighting can do.
Totally.
And then you can get the
Absolutely.
big studio gear if you.
And if you go to that site, go to his Lighting 101. It's a
Mm-hmm.
it's a class. It's a master class in from getting started to becoming really good. He wrote it all down. Follow that, and you'll be good. You'll learn a lot from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I think I was sad when he took it down, but he said, "I'm done. Everything needs to be here is here."
Yeah.
And it's true. Lighting isn't going to change. The technology is going to change, but the information is not ever going to change, right? And this is great stuff.
It's the reinventing the wheel thing. The photography, you cannot reinvent the wheel there. Light is light, physics is physics, but you can, of course, find angles and different ways to look at and different ways to experience it and different ways to teach it. So that's what I love about photography. It's such an amazingly large field of things. And I always liken it to a building. You are in this building, you know where the rooms are, you know where the upper floor is, and then you open this one door and it's the door into, let's say, large format photography, and you find an entire separate wing of the building that you hadn't known before, and then this is another year or two of exploring something new. So that's what I love about photography. It's deceptively easy, simple, but then if you want to, and you can't stay on a certain level, but if you want more, there is more. You can dig deeper.
My favorite phrase in gaming, and I learned it in chess, was a minute to master, a minute to learn, a lifetime to master. And that's kind of what photography is. You can learn very quickly the basics, but there is an endless learning that can happen. Yeah. Chris Marquardt, you have been our teacher for many years, since 2007, I think. It's great to have you on the show. We do this every month. Now, let's get Anthony Nielsen, who has been, by the way, behind the scenes helping me. Thank you, Anthony, switching and all of that.
No problem.
I really appreciate it. Shall we work on a scheduled date for the next one? Because I want everybody to know when the next one will be before we go.
How about the 11th of July?
July 11th, I'm open. How about you?
We're planning to do the AI user group that day, but at 2. So, Leo, if you don't mind doing 2 back to back.
Not at all. We could start with Chris at 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then segue to the AI user group. I like that. We're going to start doing that. We've got one of my best friends over the years, Mazzy, who has a YouTube channel all about vinyl, is going to come on and talk about vinyl. And then we're trying to follow that up with a repeat visit from our guest on Intelligent Machines Wednesday, because he wrote a book about the history of digital music, MP3s, Napster, and all of that. I thought it'd be really fun to do a back-to-back. So maybe we'll do
well,
if you don't mind.
I don't mind. That's the 27th, I believe.
Yeah. No, I'm
Or
just saying.
25th.
Yeah, that's coming up. Yeah. But I'm just saying, if you don't mind, Chris, being back-to-back with AI, we will do it on July 11th.
Back with AI.
You can even stick around if you want. You know what? Maybe, Anthony, that AI user group should all be about AI imagery. Since we got Chris, and we could get Alex Lindsay on it because he's a master of Midjourney.
Although, the whole thing about doing a Twit app, a lot of people have been.
There are already on GitHub a number of vibe-coded Twit apps I saw that were incredible.
So maybe we
and
could
by
also.
By that time, we should also have the ruling in the London case, the Getty
good.
versus
We could talk about
stability
that.
case. So that's another thing to keep in the back of our minds.
So next time will be, photo time with Chris Marquardt will be July 11th at 1 p.m. Pacific. Put that in your notebook on 7-Eleven. That's easy to remember, right? And join us for the next photo time, 1 p.m., 7-Eleven. And Chris, thank you so much. You can send questions to tfttf.com/PTQ all month long. So please do, because we'd like to have a stack of them by the show next month. And don't forget, you have now until July 11th to take your quirky photos and upload them. Tag them TGquirky, upload them to Flickr, and add them to the Tech Guy group. What fun. Thank you. As always, Chris, thank you.
Thank you for having me. This is fun. This is cool.
Yeah. Well, we used to do this every week on the radio show. I wish we could keep doing it every week, but once a month.
We're doing this for an hour now, and this is a very different
There's
kind
plenty
of
to.
piece
Yeah,
now.
that's
It's
right.
good. Yeah.
In a way, you're getting more because you only got 7 minutes per week on the radio show. So this is twice as much.
The longer time allows for such a
jammed
different dynamic here. So
Yeah, we can have a real
cool.
conversation. Yeah. Thank you, Chris Marquardt. A very special thanks to our club members who make all of this possible. If you're not yet a member of Club Twit, gosh darn it, you better get in there. We do stream this publicly a month after the show, but the show will be stored and on the Twit Plus feed for only for 1 month. So join the club if you would. $10 a month, $120 a year. You can do more if you want. It really helps us out. The main reason to do it, of course, is to support Twit and all the shows we do. Twit members now support 25% of our programming. That's our operating expenses. 25% are paid by the club, which is fantastic. Thank you. And in fact, who knows what will happen with advertising, but I think we've always can count on you, I think. twit.tv/clubtwit. You also get access to the Discord, special programming like this. There's a lot of reasons to join. twit.tv/clubtwit. Thank you, Mr. Marquardt. Everybody should go to discoverthetopfloor.com. Sign up for the Christmas Markets Black Forest trip, November 23rd. That would be such a great birthday gift for myself. I would really love to do it. But I can but dream. Thank you, Chris. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.
thank you.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Good job. Really good stuff.
Awesome.
Oh, and Jay, I just saw your question come in.
Oh, shoot.
Well,
Next
bit too
month.
late, doesn't matter. Just a quick one. Recently bought a used camera, a Fuji, for a very good price, and recently discovered it has some stuck and hot pixels with longer exposures
Hate it when
and
that
higher
happens.
ISOs. Older cameras do have that. It's a normal thing, especially if the camera traveled a lot on airplanes, because then you have more like radiation.
Oh, radiation. I didn't think of that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the cosmic particles that are plenty, or at least more up there at the altitudes you fly, and those can kill pixels or light them up permanently. I have normally, if you use something like Lightroom, for example, that detects those and just takes them out.
Yeah, my FX30 cameras, these Sonys we use for shooting, actually have a dead pixel routine that you can run that will just take it out.
Jay writes he ran pixel mapping, but there's still some problem pixels.
Sounds like there's more than a few in a clump.
So I found this on my 5D Mark II, which has had traveled for years, and I had with me for years. And then at one point I just got to look at an actual RAW file before Lightroom took out the pixels, and I saw like 300 lit up pixels.
You think that's
but,
from the cosmic rays
yes.
in air travel?
Oh, yes. That's one of the reasons cameras like Canon and Fuji and Nikon ship their cameras by ship and not by air.
Can I wrap them in a lead bag or something?
Cosmic particles, they
I
are
don't know.
quite
They go
energetic.
through everything.
So what might happen is that the lead bag, it probably needs to be a thick, a very
It wouldn't
big
help
lead
because
bag.
it's getting through the airplane shell as well.
Now what can happen? Well, this is thin aluminum, but the the particle might hit some particle of lead and then be split into other particles. So you have a shower of
Make it even
particles
worse.
on your camera, potentially. So,
Just
but
live with it.
it's something.
It better
it's
not
something
do that to my
software-
M11. That's too expensive to replace the
No.
sensor on.
It's software is really good at taking care of that.
Yeah.
Like I can say that for Lightroom because it does this for my cameras, and it did this for the 5D Mark II just brilliantly. But
once they get in a
it
clump,
might be.
it's easy if there's dots because they can interpolate.
They're easy to detect, but
Yeah, but if you get a clump of them together, that's going to be very hard to fix, I think. Depends how
Yeah.
big it is, I guess.
possibly. So
Wow. I never even knew about this.
yeah,
Wow.
your camera does have these hot and dead pixels. It
I'm
does
not,
have them.
I'm not taking it on the plane anymore. I'm shipping it.
No, it's okay. You can don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
The software will take care of it.
Okay.
But I guess if it's too much, and especially for really long exposures at higher ISOs, then
Yeah.
they might become visible. It's for me, it's a thing I'm happy to live with. And but if that's the only photography that you do, then you might want to do something about this. I'm not sure what you can do about it. I'm not sure it can be repaired other than switching out the sensor for a new one.
Right.
Anyway.
Oh, well.
Anyway,
Thank you for picking my picture even when you didn't know it was mine. I'm very flattered.
I'm honest to God, I
believe
didn't
you.
see your avatar there. I didn't read your name. I just looked at the
I
picture.
always
so
hesitate to submit anything. But
I
will.
I would have not taken your picture even
No, I know.
even though it was a good picture. I wouldn't have taken it if I had known that it was
It
you.
was me, yeah. So that's why
Again,
Laporte is going to submit some
Groucho
quirky
Marx
photos.
glasses.
But
With
that makes it even more obvious.
I think you should make that account just for fun.
Wouldn't that be funny if I did that?
That would be.
Here's Schmaport once again submitting a photo that we're going to ignore.
Right.
Mr. Marquardt, thank you so much.
See you on the 11th.
Yes,
Thanks for
I'm glad
having
we
me.
could do that. We should probably do that before the show, but since we didn't, I did it after the show, and that worked out. I hope.
All
this,
right.
If we have to move it, we will. It looks like it's open. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. See
Take
you
care.
in a
Bye-bye.
month. Take care. Bye-bye. And bye, everyone in the chat.
Bye, everyone.
Later, Chris.
Later, Gator. I love Mr. Met. When you book a photography session on Airbnb, they charge a $90 lens cleaning charge. Check out. So you don't use them anymore either. You're right. A hotel's easier. And I don't, some
I think it's
Airbnbs,
gotten a
you
little
got
bit
the
better,
people
but-
wandering
Yeah.
in. I've kind of soured on the whole thing, which is too bad.
And then like they all have different times and when you could like check in or like how you check in. It's like
exactly. It was getting
too complicated.
crazy. It's getting nuts. Getting nuts.
hey,
Thank you, Renee, for the work you do. We appreciate it.
I don't want to make your set any more complicated, but I did come up with a workaround to get the screen shader work better so you're not fumbling with the pulling up your screens.
Oh, you mean like the Stream Deck thing solution? Or
Well, so the way that Restream works is on this, if you do a local share, here, let me share my screen. Screen 2.
local
So-
video, you mean?
Yeah, so what the end result would be for you would be where like your Blackmagic would live in a scene and then you could go back to
Oh.
main and then come back here and not have to worry
Oh.
about like pulling up your extra camera.
How do I do that again?
So there's a
Let's
couple
do it
ways
right
to do it.
now. Yeah.
So what I am doing is so like I open up QuickTime and I dedicate a whole like monitor to it. So on QuickTime I select the camera, in which case you would select your Blackmagic and
In the
then go full
QuickTime
screen.
player?
Or yeah, I mean I'm sure there's other ways to work around it, but basically on the machine that's connected
OBS
to
could probably
Restream-
do it too, right?
Yeah.
OBS might be
Well,
better.
I also use I'm not actually using a monitor. I'm using a virtual monitor with a better display. So I
I
drag my
love your
QuickTime.
setup. It's much nicer than mine, by the way.
I
Look
mean,
at
it's
that.
simpler. Yeah, thank you.
Look at that. It's gorgeous. What is that screen?
It's just like a super wide monitor that people would normally put in a PC, like a gaming
Yeah,
PC for.
but it's touch, so you can use it to control stuff.
Uh,
You got a great
it doesn't
setup.
work. It doesn't work great with Mac because it's
Ah,
on whatever monitor your
I
main
see.
monitor is, which is not
Okay.
that. But yeah.
So
Anyways,
basically I would add, instead of adding extra camera, I would
I
add
do a
what?
screen
Local
share.
video?
No, so like here, let me stop sharing.
Oh, I do a Mac screen share?
Yeah, so I'm sharing a whole screen, but in that screen is we would put your Blackmagic video in there.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I don't know if it's worth the effort, but
Really, there are only 3 things I use in the Blackmagic ever.
yeah,
So which are, I will show you that. That's blank. That's blank. There's this, my overhead,
yeah. Well, what's on the
their
Blackmagic
overhead
doesn't matter.
camera,
Like it would still,
and then of course my pictures. That
yeah.
doesn't look quite as good. Why is it so harsh? Maybe not. That's because I was leaning into
I
the
was
mic.
wondering about your. I think the video mode might have been changed because your screen, when you do a screen share, it's a little bit more contrasty or crunched. So
What?
I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. It might be a
This,
Blackmagic
you're
setting.
saying when I do when I show my screen, it's
Yeah, sometimes
contrasty?
a little bit. Like it feels like there's some clipping going on. So there might be some kind of
Is
color
that in the
effect.
Blackmagic you're talking about?
It might be in the Blackmagic because if it's showing up on this camera too, then it's probably a Blackmagic thing.
Of course, I'm usually showing
You're a screen, right?
yeah, computer, as opposed to, I'm usually showing this.
But I can't see like any of the lines in the spreadsheet.
Yeah,
They're kind of
you're
blown out.
right. Yeah, you're right. It's not a good shot. What's going on? That's terrible, actually. It's also hard to read because is it scaling? Is that a scaling
It's
issue?
not. If I had to guess, the output on the Blackmagic, there might be a setting for like full RGB and limited RGB, or like full color space and limited color space, and I think it's something is expecting limited and you're sending full. If I had to guess.
Well, I have the software. I can control the Blackmagic and look at the settings. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Let's fix it because that does. You're right. Now that you mention it, it should look better than that.
Yeah, I need to look at I don't know what the app looks like, so I need to kind of dig.
I have the Alex Lindsay's recommended third-party app, which I think is better for controlling the Blackmagic. Let me figure out what that's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. Because he says that has all the settings, whereas he doesn't like the Blackmagic app very much. Mix Effect Pro. So let me launch Mix Effect Pro. Okay.
Then
Switcher.
I guess you can't. Well, you could do a local share, so we could see what you're doing.
Yeah, you want to see it? Let's see. So I would do in Restream. I would add a screen share. Allow, and I would select what tab? Oh, it's a window. Entire screen window. It's not seeing.
Maybe just do the whole screen then.
Maybe it closed? No, it's there. Where's the mix effect? Why isn't it showing it? Let's close that. Let's close that. Mix Effect Pro. Let me go full screen on it. At least that way I'd be able to. Yeah, there. Oh. As soon as I switched away, it disappeared. Okay, so let me. That's strange. Let's share the whole screen. and then I'll switch it to. Can you see
There
it
we go.
now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't switchers streaming services where I don't. I guess I have to add my ATEM. I don't know.
Or the switcher's new ATEM switcher. Just click on that.
Yeah,
or-
no, this is it. This is how I add it.
Oh,
ATEM Extreme. Oh, I need the IP address. That's why.
I don't know why it would have changed though, because
Yeah, we used it before. Let me just
Yeah.
look at Unify and see what my IP address is. For the welcome to Unify Site Manager. Everything's got dumb all of a sudden. Makes me log in again. Making me log in. Okay, let's see. I want to say, well, that would be a wired device. ATEM. Here it is. Mini Pro. ATEM Mini Pro is at 192.168.88.48. Right. Add it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Let's see. There it is. We're seeing it. Now, what do you think? What setting you think? You see all of this.
It's gonna have to be an output.
Upstream keys, downstream.
Second to last output.
And we got to do it on 8. Let me see which one.
Oh, this is for streaming, live stream. Click record stream. So at the top, there's a. Go back to output. There you go. Let's just check the settings. The last tab. Video mode.
1080p 2997. Should
Check
I do
that
auto
yeah.
video standard maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Display source. Okay.
Camera control, hyperdex, color generators, source downstream keys. Is it a keyer?
No.
Transitions, media, macros, audio. Switcher.
Hopefully that auto did it.
Well, let's see.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm going to switch back. Oh, stop sharing. Hey, that's audible. And now let me pull up. This is another problem. My mouse is very uncooperative. Okay. Close that now. Let's pull up the spreadsheet. Nope, just as bad as ever. Should we talk to Russell about this? He seems to know a lot. Or maybe Lindsay.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, usually we're showing, sites which look better than that, like we're doing this. Yeah, it's still, though, it's like, it looks scaled. It looks like it's badly scaled. And for instance, you cannot see the glass apple
It's
at
the color
all.
space. Yeah. It's, Alex would probably know. And I know it's not a restream thing because I've noticed it on.
It's not restream. Let me look at the
Zoom
video
shows.
settings and restream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any choice. It's 110/80/30. But what if I went to 720? No. 480.
You're not running it. You don't have like Camo Studio or anything. You
No.
just select the okay.
No, it's just pumped right into the from the
I
it
guess
is running through. It does have to run through the Elgato switcher.
Yeah,
because I have to split it.
It's not doing anything to the. Shouldn't do anything to the data. It's probably the ATEM. I'll have to.
It's a setting in the ATEM.
Google sleuthing.
Something with the ATEM.
Yeah.
And you're saying if I made the ATEM a video source.
Oh, okay, so imagine you add another monitor. You're using all your monitors, right? Like, okay.
I mean,
So you
I
could
don't
either-
have to.
You could either create a virtual monitor with better display or add another monitor. to the computer that is using Restream. So
Okay.
the main computer.
Yeah. That's actually
then-
not. It's this right Mac Mini. It's an M1 Mac Mini.
Okay, the Mac, yeah.
Because the Mac
Whatever
Mini, so the laptop is the one that's sending the screenshot. The Mac Mini has got
Yeah.
Restream.
Well, I'm talking. This would be on the computer that is connecting to Restream.
Restream. Yeah.
You add a monitor, and then in that monitor you open QuickTime, select the Blackmagic ATEM, go full screen, and then you would just share your screen instead of share a camera in here. So in Restream, instead of doing add a camera, do a screen share, entire screen to that extra monitor.
Can you choose what monitor you're using on screen
Yeah.
share? Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Entire screen.
Entire screen. I see that. And then screen 1 or screen 2.
Yeah.
And right now, I do have a screen 2, which is my teleprompter.
Yeah.
But I would add a virtual third screen.
Either add an actual, like just plug in a monitor. So like you could either do a real physical monitor or install Better Display and create a virtual display.
Okay. I'll try that. I'll get better. Well, I have monitors lying around I could use.
It's probably easier because then because you're going to have to drag the QuickTime player into that monitor. So
Before I go to all that trouble,
yeah,
let's see if we can figure out why the ATEM
is doing that,
not working properly. It's only been going on for a year.
I feel like
It's gotten worse.
I only noticed.
Boy, when you look at this glass apple, it is terrible. It's a color. It might be a color space thing.
It is.
Yeah.
I only noticed like in the last month or so.
Huh.
Because you used to cut to the additional cameras and it was fine and stuff.
So because when I cut now
to the same camera, yeah.
This is not as good.
No.
Or it's different anyway. It's more contrasty.
And saturated
and look at more saturated. Look at the purple edge. It's almost completely different. So this is the ATEM, and it feels more washed out actually. But that's just because I'm looking at the ATEM, which is highly contrasty.
Yeah.
Why is it so contrasty?
It's something about color space that's not right.
Do you think it's a setting maybe in the Elgato Duo?
It's not even
the HD 60X.
No, because it's even happening on your no, because it's bypass.
The screen is coming direct.
Yeah. That's not in the loop.
That's so weird. Yeah, it doesn't look right. And you're right. I don't think I would have noticed this before.
No, it wasn't like that before.
Well, maybe if I plug in a different
or maybe just I don't know, cycle it, unplug it and plug.
Let me just plug in the other. I have two Elgatos because something weird happens.
No, it's not the Elgato though. It's the.
What is this splitting between then? What is this?
That is splitting.
That's going up to the monitor?
No, that is taking your main camera. So that's how we're getting your good shot. Like that's getting this shot
through
that
this.
looks good. Yeah. Which
but
is working
nothing
fine.
Nothing else.
Yeah. It's splitting it and sending it back to the ATEM if you want to cut to your single over there. But
so none of those are going through this.
I would
just it's something in the ATEM.
Maybe just power off the ATEM.
Oh, I haven't done that in a long time. That was too easy. That was way too easy. I didn't lock it down, I guess. Here's the hole. Your setup is so much cleaner and nicer than mine. I'm jealous. You got to come over here and hook me up, man.
All right.
I'm rebooting the ATEM.
Yours is still more complicated.
It's very complicated. Now I have to switch my. Please connect video. Oh crap! Now what's going on? Oh, the Elgato had to boot up the switcher. That's for the main camera, but let's turn on the.
You did
Let's turn on the
power
extra
cycle the
camera.
mini, right?
Yeah, I just.
Okay.
Something weird happened. Because this. Something.
Yeah, you're gonna have to disconnect the extra camera. It looks like.
Retry. Disconnected Blackmagic design. No, reconnect it. It only sees the Elgato right now, and for some reason, it decided to barf. It's blinking. I should come back in a minute. Well, maybe the Elgato is involved. Why would that reboot when I unplugged the... Oh, I know why. It gets its power from the ATEM. It's the USB connector to the ATEM that powers the Elgato switcher.
I don't think I set it up that way, but...
Oh, really? So should I plug it into just a USB adapter? A power brick? Maybe I should. No, it needs to be... There's a reason it needs to be on there. That's how I communicate. I don't remember how this all works. For the life of me. Now I can't see anything. The whole thing is broken.
No.
I don't have the extra camera. You know what? I'm going to have to... Let me hang up and come back. Yeah.
Let's turn on some AI-generated music and restream while we wait. Don't like that. Oh, he's back already.
But all you see is that. Oh, I've screwed it up now. I'm deeply in trouble. Now I'm screwed. All right, I'm going to just go home. What do I need to reboot?
Just do a full reboot. Like even the Mac. Or
no, I don't think that has
okay, let me
Why did this... Let me reboot the Elgato video converter. You know what I do is I plug in the other one. I think it gets tired. I plug in the other one.
All right, I'm going to take us offline. Later, public.
I do this periodically. Yeah, it's connected now. That is so weird. Okay, now that's my picture. Now,
which looks good.
But that's because that's the one that always looked good. Let me share my camera. Please connect more video input devices. It doesn't see the extra camera anymore. Oh, no. Why would that be?
So there's... On the ATEM, there is a USB plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just unplug it. Just unplug the USB on the ATEM and plug it back in.
So that's not powering the Elgato because it didn't turn that off. So the Elgato must have just rebooted on its own. God, that's annoying. Go away, gardeners. I hate leaf blowers. Da-da-da-da-da. Now let's see what I see. Extra camera. Yeah, there it is. That fixed it. Still looks terrible.
Okay.
So after all that, nothing.
I'll have to do some Googling.
So jerry-rigged. But then I was reassured because Burke said, oh, it was like that at the studio, too. This is no worse. This is the same. In fact, it might even be better.
We had issues with the color at the studio.
There's always this shit. Always.
But it was like... up to a few months ago, it was fine. I don't know what happened.
It's probably some setting.
Yeah, I'll do some Googling and
Okay.
let you know.
Jammer B.
Do you miss us, John?
Come back, Jammer B.
Yeah.
Come back. Come home, Jammer B. All right. Now, in the meanwhile, I transcribed this whole conversation. It was just as an experiment in my Obsidian transcriber.
Oh, speakers.
Let's see if it, this is using Assembly AI. And it's pretty good, but let's see if it gets a speaker C, because that's you. No, it's just AB.
Well, it'd be at the. I didn't talk till.
No, it's there. I didn't do the whole Chris Marquardt. This is you, speaker B. So this was speaker B, was Chris. So maybe it thinks you sound like Chris, or maybe it's just not.
Just
right.
assumed, yeah.
But at least it did speakers, which is nice.
Even the thing we use gets confused all the time too.
Yeah. And then it's supposed to, but for some reason it didn't go to OpenAI and summarize it.
Oh.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Obsidian plugin called Scribe. So you can just turn that on. And then during a meeting or whatever. But we just spoke 3,244 words. You and I. Well, maybe less than that because we didn't say speaker A, speaker B the whole time. See what it sounded like. Once again, Laporte. Once again, submitting a photo that we're going to ignore. Yeah, so this is...
Right.
Mr. Marquardt, thank you so much.
See you on the 11th.
So that's cool. So my laptop hears the audio from the road back, and so I can record that. So that's good. I could transcribe the shows in real time. I don't know what's going on with my API key though. All right, thank you, Anthony. I haven't had anything to eat all day, so I'm gonna go.
I'll let you know if I come up with anything for the time issue.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.